The 7th chapter. How a man shall have him in this work against all thoughts, namely against all those that risen of his own curiosity, of cunning, and of kyndely wit. Here beginneth the 7th chapter. And if any thought rise and would press alle gates upon thee, betwixt thee and that darkness, and ask thee, saying, What seekest thou, and what wouldst thou have? Say thou that it is God that thou wouldst have. Him I covet, him I seek, and naught but him. And if he asketh thee, What is that God? Say thou that it is God that made thee and bought thee, and that graciously hath clepped thee to his love. And in him say thou canst no skill, and therefore say, Go thou down again, and tread him fast down with a stirring of love, though he seem to thee right holy, and seem to thee as he would help thee to seek him. For, peradventure, he will bring to thy mind divers full fair and wonderful points of his kindness, and say that he is full sweet and full loving, full gracious and full merciful. And if thou wilt hear him, he coveteth no better, for at the last he will thus jangle ever more and more, till he bring thee lower to the mind of his passion. And there will he let thee see the wonderful kindness of God. And if thou hear him, he keepeth no better. For soon after will he let thee see thine old wretched living. And peradventure, in seeing and thinking thereof, he will bring to thy mind some place that thou hast wandered in before this time. So that at the last, ere ever wit thou shalt be scattered, thou wast never where. The cause of this scattering is that thou heardest him first wilfully, answeredst him, receivedst him, and lettest him alone. And yet, nevertheless, the thing that he said was both good and holy, yea, and so holy that what man or woman that winneth to come to contemplation withouten many such sweet meditations of their own wretchedness, passion, the kindness and the great goodness and the worthiness of God coming before, securely he shall err and fail of his purpose. And yet, nevertheless, behoveth a man or a woman that hath long time been used in these meditations, always leave them, and put them, and hold them far down under the cloud of forgetting, if ever shall he pierce the cloud of unknowing twixt him and his God. Therefore, what time that thou purposest thee to this work, and feelest by grace that thou art clepped of God, lift then up thine heart unto God with a meek stirring of love, and mean God loved that made thee, and bought thee, and that graciously hath clepped thee to this work, and receive none other thought of God. And yet not all these, but thee list, for it sufficeth enough, a naked intent direct unto God, without any other cause than himself. And if thee list, have this intent lapped and folded in all word, for thou shouldest have better hold thereupon, take thee but a little word of all syllable, for so it is better than of two, for ever the shorter it is, better it accordeth with the work of the Spirit. And such a word is this word, God, or this word, love. Choose thee whether thou wilt, or another as thee list, which that thee liketh best of all syllable, and fasten this word to thine heart, so that it never go thence for thing that befalleth. This word shall be thy shield and thy spear, whether thou ridest on peace or on war. With this word thou shalt beat on this cloud and this darkness above thee. With this word thou shalt smite down all manner of thought under the cloud of forgetting, and so much that if any thought press upon thee to ask thee what thou wouldest have, answer him with no more words but with this own word. And if he proffer thee of his great clergy to and expound thee that word, and to tell thee conditions of that word, say him that thou wilt have it all whole, and not broken ne undone. And if thou wilt hold thee fast on this purpose, secure be thou he will no while abide. And why? For thou wilt not let him feed him on such sweet meditations, touched before.